What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Remote Control Podcast, where we talk about movies, video games, music, TV, comics, and so much more. I am your host, Robert Slavinsky. With me, as always, is Colton Bird.
Macho Man Randy Savage.
And this week's episode, we have a whole bunch we're talking about. We got Deadpool 2 stuff, Rocket League, Fortnite, Jessica Jones Season 2, Star Wars, Shazam, and so much more.
And me.
And Colton. Yeah! Yeah!
Yeah!
So what's going on? What did you do this past week, my man?
Work, and some more work.
No movies?
I don't think I did. Did we? I know we didn't go to the movies. We watched something. I can't remember. We did something. It's okay. That's not all that dead air we have going on. No, what the fuck did we watch? We watched something. It wasn't a movie, though. But we did something. Anyway.
So you this week basically nothing. You're just like,
we basically
I existed.
Yeah, I was on the same plane as you.
just existed.
You mere mortal.
Meanwhile, I didn't go. I watched Jumanji. I watched The Greatest Showman. I watched the entire season of Season 2 of Jessica Jones and a season and a half of the Drew Carey Show. So my week's been kind of busy.
Some of us have to exist. That's a full-time job in and of itself.
On top of that, I think there was a couple Penguin games I watched. Come on, man. What's the deal? The difference is you have a girlfriend, I don't. That's the difference.
So, you have a girlfriend. Your hand treats you nicely. No, honestly, I checked out Jumanji. I didn't think it was that bad, but it wasn't great. That's what I'm saying.
A lot of penis jokes, which was really surprising.
Spoiler: the game has no reason to become a video game.
No, there's really all of a sudden it just is able to transform.
Yeah, it's like, oh, dark and stormy night, we can transfuse. Like what?
Yeah,
that's not how life works.
And that's not where did that come from? Like how?
Exactly. Like it's not even explained. It's
no
like here,
backstory, no nothing.
Here's some fuck shit. And then the villain. He was in there for maybe 5 minutes.
Yeah, he wasn't a great villain. He
was hardly a villain.
Yeah, one of the Jonas brother, he was in there for a minute and a half.
Goes to show how much I paid attention.
Yeah. But he was the pilot.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
It
goes to show how much I paid attention. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think it was horrible.
It just banked a lot off the nostalgia of Jumanji.
Yeah, anything that has what's-her-face in it, though, I'll watch because she's smoking hot, so...
You were looking at that ass most of the time.
Pretty much the entire time, yeah.
Nice. You like how her ability was to dance? Dance combat?
Yeah, and it was sexy as shit, so...
Yeah, she's like, hey, guys. She's like the equivalent of me acting like a gay flirt.
Hey, but you're ugly.
Hey. I hope when they find my body, yours is the first name on the note.
What note?
Suicide note.
Why would you?
When they find the body. Because I'll be hanging out by myself from the ceiling.
All right.
That took a dark and morbid turn.
So I also watched The Greatest Showman, which I thought was fantastic. Music is exceptional. Here's the thing, though. I think the choreography is what sets it apart. Some of the dance sequences and scenes are amazing. And I got stuck listening to the soundtrack for a couple days after I watched because the music is really good. I'm not going to say the music is as good as La La Land was, but it's really good. The music actually has a very strong High School Musical vibe to it.
Oh, God.
And
we're all in this
look,
together.
I'm a fan of the High School Musical movies. I liked them when I was 18.
They perform that when they're putting the circus together. We're all in this together.
But it was really good. Zac Efron, I think, was really good in the movie.
The irony of it all.
Hugh Jackman was really good. Zendaya was really good. She has a damn sexy voice. Let me tell you, I never listened to her before. I know she's isn't she like a singer or something like that? Zendaya, yeah.
She was on Disney Channel.
Was she? Is that where she's from?
Yeah.
Oh, she's got a good voice though, so give her some credit for that. So, yeah. But no, it was it was a really good movie. I recommend everybody checking it out. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not saying it's as good as La La Land was, because when it comes to musicals, La La Land's at the top for me. Not the number one, but top 3. This is probably one of my top 5 musicals now because it's that good. So
nice. Who did it bump out?
High School Musical 2. I don't know.
Gay.
I don't know. I
don't know. The second one was ass anyway.
Yeah, it really was. I don't know. When I sit there, my top 2 favorite are Moulin Rouge and La La Land. And then this is, up there with them. So
like number 3.
Probably. So I can't really think of musicals right now that I really enjoy. So
Star Wars.
There's no Star Wars musical yet.
Yes, there is. Star Wars has music in it. Thus classifying it as a musical.
No, it doesn't.
Did you hear the characters, the supercut of all the characters singing Smash Mouth?
Yeah, that's a musical. That's like 8 years old.
That's a musical.
Yeah,
they're all singing.
It's not a feature-length movie.
It doesn't need to be.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, YouTube's considered movies.
If it's a feature length, yeah.
Yeah, it's a video. We can put it on
loop.
No,
a video is different than a movie.
We can put it on a 2-hour loop.
It's not a feature length movie.
We can put it on a 2-hour loop.
It still doesn't make it a feation length.
Yes,
movie.
It would.
No.
Yes, it would.
God.
Putting on loop for that one.
Jessica Jones season 2.
No, we're just gonna move on from this.
I really, really enjoyed. I tell you what,
I've seen mixed reviews about
all the negative reviews that are coming out. I guess I can kind of see why they're negative. My whole thing is, and this is going to be semi-spoiler, there's no real overarching villain like we've seen in other shows before. There's a villain. There's absolutely a villain. But it's not your normal type of villain that you've seen before. And I think because they took this chance and went this direction with it,
everybody's like, my butt hurts.
Because it's more story-driven. Like this season, these episodes are very story driven. You have to actually pay attention. It's not just the eye candy of all the Marvel movies where you sit there and just see a bunch of.
No, they take the DC approach.
You see a bunch of bright colors and just fights all the time. That's not what this is. And you also have to take into consideration that Jessica Jones is a dark character. She's the darkest character out of all the Marvel characters that we've gotten so far. I mean, she's an alcoholic. Her past and her background with her parents dying and stuff like that. Like, it's all tragic, and she it's taken a dark turn for it. It's very sexual. This season, not as much so as season 1, but again, it's very sexual again. I don't know.
What is her superpower?
She's super strong.
Is she really?
Yeah. And she can jump really high.
Nice. She's the one I've never really was like, she looks like she's a detective. I don't really care.
I think that's why I like it so much too, because of the whole PI side of it. But I
was like, she's just one of those people that are slapping in there because they don't like trios. They want a 4-person.
You have Carey Ann Moss. She reprises her role as Carrie Hogarth. She does an amazing job. Again, and her story, I think, was one of the most interesting aspects of this season because she goes on a fucking roller coaster of not just a storyline but of emotions and everything.
Same.
So again, I think the side stories really helped the narrative of the overall story. This was the first time that I watched a Marvel TV show, with the exception of The Defenders, because I think the 8 episodes was perfect for that. But this is the first time that I've watched a Marvel Netflix show where I didn't sit there and say, God, is this almost over?
God damn
it got to episode 13. I'm like, damn, there's no more? This is the first time where I wanted more. And that's been my biggest complaint is for all of the shows is that, by episode 8 or 9, it's just like, all right, it's out of steam.
Yeah.
But this is
they've done all they can do.
Yeah, I think this is the first time that they've paced everything perfectly. They did everything as well as they could do. There's some moments where it's just kind of like, oh, come on.
Every show's like
that.
But
every show's like that. Even my favorites, the Arrowverse shows and stuff like that have the same problem. Is there's filler that needs to be put in there sometimes because they need to fill up 13 episodes.
Just like oh wow, I got really low. Just look at Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
90% filler.
Exactly. So. Season 2, Jessica Jones, excellent. Check it out if you haven't yet. I know all the Marvel fans probably have. If you haven't, I want to hear what you guys think because I know, for me, I still look at my top 3 shows of the Marvel Netflix shows goes Daredevil season 1, Punisher season 1, Jessica Jones season 1. Those 3 are my top 3. Jessica Jones season 2 is right underneath, if not right alongside Jessica Jones season 1.
So you just like Jessica Jones? Period.
I think it's so far it's been the best series as a whole. Because Daredevil season 2 wasn't great. It had its moments because Punisher was introduced in it, but it still wasn't great.
That's what I call him a Pangus.
So, and iZombie's not a Marvel property.
I thought so. I know. I realized that right after I was like, I'm a retard.
Yes, and that's also not on Netflix.
I thought it was.
It's on CW.
Well,
they put it on Netflix. Yeah, but it's not a Netflix show.
Yeah, that's whatever. I don't know. I'm just rambling now. I'm a rambling man.
And then, so after I got done watching Jessica Jones season 2 the other day, I'm like, God, I got nothing to watch now. You get that you're binge watching a show and you're like, yeah, I'm loving it, and then all of a sudden you
What do you do, Bob?
What are you doing?
My mic, my headset keeps going. I can only hear out my right ear, and then I get really loud. Okay.
But you're really into the show. You're binge watching it, and then it's over, and you're like, oh. Then you go through this like dark, depressed state. Like, what am I gonna do now?
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I got nothing to watch. Like, what am I gonna? So, luckily, I was just flipping through these channels. Well, not the channels. Flipping through the guide, and I'm looking like, wow, what's on? And a show that I loved when I was younger, like absolutely adored this show when I was younger. It was actually, it's a show before your time, but I mean it was on after you were born, but you wouldn't really ever remember it. But the Drew Carey show,
I love that show actually.
Really, and
it's one of my mom's favorite shows. That's the only reason I know it.
And I found it. I've been wanting to watch. Like I've literally had like an itch to watch a show for the past few months, and it's just nowhere. It's never syndicated anywhere. It's not on Netflix.
It's not on Hulu. Nothing.
So I've been wanting to watch it, and I just like I keep saying, like maybe one day I'll buy the the box sets and stuff like that. Well, it's on a channel called Laugh TV or something like that, or Laugh.
Yeah, I'm never gonna watch that.
And
I don't think we have it on DirecTV.
Well, that's the thing. Like I don't know where this channel came from. I've never seen it before, and it just pops up, and boom, there it is. And I'm like, well, shit. And the greatest thing about it is I caught it like 5 minutes into season 1, episode 1.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so literally
you just watched it.
So I was like, record. So now it's like fucking recording everything. And over the past couple of days, I've been watching that, on my free time. And I watched this season and a half in the past weekend. So
isn't it a great show?
It's such a good show.
I need to watch it again.
Such a great show, man. I love it. It's an underappreciated show. Like I think in its time, like in the mid '90s when it first came out, people enjoyed it. But it's one of those shows that I think has gotten forgotten.
Yeah, it stood the test of time, and it's still funny.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's dated. There's a lot of like the computers, the cell phones, and stuff like that. And honestly, watching it now, Drew Carey is not a good actor. Like there's so many times where I'm just like, wow, you're acting, really?
You're like, you just did that?
Yeah,
I wouldn't do that.
But what makes that show so good is not just Drew Carey, but the cast around him. Everybody who's cast in is great. So
that later became the cast of that one comedy show that he hosted. I can't remember what it was called.
Well, just Ryan Stiles. Ryan Stiles.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought
Whose Line Isn't Anyway is what you're talking about.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
But yeah, Ryan Stiles, I mean, he went on to do Whose Line with, everybody, but then you have What's-Her-Face, I can't remember her name all of a sudden, but she went on she was in Scrubs, and then she was in Cougar Town, so, these, Craig Ferguson went and had his talk show, people broke off from this,
It jump-started careers.
Yeah, so... Excellent show.
And then everybody but Drew Carey did something.
No, he's the host of Price is Right now.
Yeah, but who watches The Price is Right?
It's very true.
That's where careers go to die.
Oh, man. So did you hear the Rocket League news? Not news, but release, like the new DLC release stuff?
No.
2 new Batmobiles. So
I kind of saw it. I saw it about the Batmobiles.
Yeah, 1989's the 1989 Batman Batmobile, and then you got the Tumbler from Chris Nolan's Batman's. And then we have the other one.
The one I have.
Yeah.
The Arkham Knight one. Mm-hmm. Or not Arkham Knight, but the Arkham...
no,
it's not the Arkham?
It's from Batman vs. Superman.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was from the Arkham series. Arkham games.
Nope. It also, but so what they're doing is they did a whole DC DLC pack. So you got 2 Batmobiles.
Am I gonna have to buy this?
A whole slew of banners, decals, wheels, and a cool Speed Force boost in honor of the Flash. So nice. I want to see the Speed Force blast.
You want to play after we're done?
Maybe.
I have some extra money.
Now, speaking of games that we play after we podcast, Fortnite, you haters out there who hate Fortnite, better get ready because it's starting to take over PUBG.
It has on Twitch.
Yeah, PUBG's popularity is kind of dying down because there's just been no updates. Fortnite updates almost like weekly.
Yeah, no, and it's pretty bad. Like they add and even if they add a lot of shit to finish my sentence there. Even like we don't pay. We've never paid for it.
Yeah. And it's still fun.
Yeah, it's still fun. You're not playing people that are super OP. I mean, people are good. Mm-hmm. Like, we make it to the last, 5 on accident.
Yeah, we never really do it on purpose. But
but, the weapons, they aren't, OP.
No.
Everything's custom skins.
The only thing that I want to see is vehicles. I do want to see vehicles at some point. Besides that, I think the game is fun.
Yeah, and they're adding new game modes and shit like that.
Exactly.
And it's all for free.
And, that...
You were skeptical of Fortnite
Oh,
at the
yeah,
beginning.
I was, because I played by myself the first couple times, and it sucked ass.
It does. When you play by yourself, it sucks. Then we played, and you're like, yeah, Fortnite.
Yeah, fun. But with that all said, it has come out that PUBG is getting new maps, new vehicles, new modes, and new weapons.
I think it's too late.
Within the next year.
It's too late.
So
PUBG died.
the map, I saw a map, a potential new map. I like the map. It looks cool, but again, it could be too late.
Yeah, it's already dead. I mean, there's people like Alex and stuff like that are loyal to it, but you're not going to draw too many new people in.
Probably not.
Everybody's like, oh, I can build in Fortnite.
Especially when Fortnite's free.
Yeah, Fortnite's free. It's fun. It's cartoony.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the only thing that I would love to see from Fortnite is vehicles. Maybe a bigger map. If they add vehicles, get a bigger map.
Give us another map. Like, fuck it.
Well, yeah, I mean, have multiple maps, but you could have the map they have now, that could be their non-vehicle map, and then make a bigger map with vehicles and stuff like that.
Make a desert. No. Make it like the Halo. What was the map? When there's a base, flat plane, base.
Blood Gulch.
Yes. That's where boys become men. I have a video to show you afterwards. There was some dude, when the game first came out, he's carrying the flag, and there's just his teammates just getting bombarded by warthogs. And shit just died and goes.
I mean, some of the early videos that people would make from Halo are fantastic. I mean, you had Red vs. Blue that came out of it, but
that jump started fucking.
Rooster Teeth
company.
and Red vs. Blue was fantastic. But there's some other hilarious things you can find on YouTube when it comes to Halo videos.
You can make Halo videos like today, and I think they still catch fire. Like Halo stands the test of time with YouTube videos.
Yeah, probably.
You can do any stupid shit in
because
Halo.
I mean, think about it. I mean, YouTube came, really, it came out in the mid 2000s. Like
that was Halo
2005, and that's when Halo was big.
Yeah,
and
I was like the brink of Halo 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2 came out in 2004.
Yeah, and
3.
Halo 3 was like right around the corner.
Yeah, so 2003 I think was Halo 2.
And then like it just kept going because Reach and 4 and 5, you can quote me on those if I'm wrong, had custom maps. Like you can make custom maps and do shit in them.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5, Reach. Yeah, they all had Forge. So good times. Super Smash Brothers coming to Switch this year.
Yeah, did you see the shadows in the fire?
No.
Shrek's a playable character.
Who?
Shrek.
I'm
kidding. I gotta show you that picture too. It looks like Shrek's in the back thing. Yeah.
Who is it?
I don't know.
No, they just were like, here's a shadowy figure.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna get it. I play Smash semi-pro.
Yeah, well. I was never a big fan of Super Smash Brothers. I mean, I have fun with it. It's one of those games, like, if it's somebody has it, I'm like, yeah, I'll play it, but I'm not going to get into it because...
Getting into it's fun.
It's just, to me, it's not...
It just sucks that, like, all the good players play for the real money, and local tournaments, you'll win $5 in a handshake.
I got anything else for video games? I don't know.
What's everybody's favorite game they're looking forward to? Shoot us at that. I think they should make Halo Reach. They should make another... I mean, you can't make 2. But they should make another Halo Reach game. I think that should be a production thing.
Now, you do know the story of Reach, right?
Yes, I know.
And I'm not saying the game. I'm saying, like, the true... Like, what happened in the books and everything, right?
No, I don't know the whole lore to it.
Yeah, because there's no more Reach buttons.
There's no
more
That's
Reach.
it. They just die.
Yeah, basically. It's glassed, so...
Fuck.
Damn it. Yeah, I know. It sucks.
That was one of my favorite Halo games.
I'm telling you, I would still love to see...
I want to see kind of another ODST.
I want to see a Halo game where they take the Spartan 3s. Or not 3s. Yeah. 3s? Spartan 3s, yeah. Because, Master Chief Spartan 2 program. So the Spartan 3s.
Oh, yeah.
They're like kids. They're kids, but they have... their armor is active camo. And they're like on a planet called Onyx. And they're kind of doing their training there. Shit starts to happen where you find out that the Onyx actually has a portal to go to... And I never read past this book. This was the last Halo book I read, Ghost of Onyx, but it was a damn good book. And they kind of go through this portal, and I think it takes them to the Ark, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's pretty fucking cool. It's intense. There's a big battle that goes on with the Sentinels and stuff like that.
That's badass.
And then the Covenant eventually shows up, And this that whole storyline's going on while Master Chief is doing his shit.
That's badass.
So it would be a cool side story to do. I've always, I just want to see a movie.
Aren't there? There's one on Hulu, I think.
Well, I'm saying
think Nightfall it is.
I mean that's good. You have Nightfall, and then you had.
You really dove into the Halo franchise.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh fuck, dude! I read like 5 books. I think I read of them. Played all the games multiple times. I would have read more books, but I kind of was like, what book was it? It was the Sergeant Johnson book is the one that I started reading, and I was just like, I can't get into it. Like, I don't know if it's because
it was just his character story was awful.
Yeah, so, I don't know. But yeah,
we should do a commentary while we play Halo.
Maybe. Okay, so
I didn't hear a no.
Jump on the TV. I talked about Jessica Jones season 2. Thank you. Luke Cage season 2 has a release date of June 22nd. So get ready for some Luke Cage action. I watched Gotham this week. It continues to impress. Jerome is back. Thank fucking Christ, Jerome is back. He's such a good character. But Poison Ivy, the new Poison Ivy they got, first off, like, I was skeptical because this is the third actress they have playing Poison Ivy, but there's been like a transition with her where she was a little kid and then she got a little older and then she like transformed again. She's finally Poison Ivy though. Like, she's like, you know,
is she hot?
Oh yeah.
Just clear that air.
Just clear that out. Yeah, she's hot. But I think the chick who was playing her before was hotter.
Sorry, Nicole.
I think the chick who played before was hotter, but she's hot, and she personifies the character perfectly. Like, it's Poison Ivy to me. Like, you know, yeah, she doesn't have the green skin like in the Arkham games, which is fine with me. I don't need to see the green skin, but she is Poison Ivy, and in 2 episodes she's done that.
Damn,
which is good.
That's impressive.
You know, she's done a hell of a job with that character. So, and they're really building something this week. That fucking Poison Ivy goes to Bruce Wayne and like drugs him, and he's like having like these hallucinations and seeing shit, and he sees like his future, and he sees the Batman, and it like, oh dude, it was pretty badass.
That's
really fun.
Same.
Yeah, pretty cool. So
you never trip out on shrooms and picture Batman?
Sometimes.
Nice. Same.
All right, we got a shit ton of Star Wars stuff I'm going to talk about here.
Bum, 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 bum.
So first, I got to get your opinion on this. You know, being the host of
really just smacked my mic. I'm sorry.
Being the host of Star Wars Talk, I need to hear your opinion on this. Jon Favreau is set to create, write, and produce the first ever live-action Star Wars TV show for Disney's upcoming streaming service. What do you think about that?
Make it good. I'm on board.
That's it.
Yep.
You know, what do you want? What do you want to see from it?
I don't know. There's so much you could do for that, though.
Exactly.
Honestly, give me a pre-episode 1. I want young Obi-Wan, and he gave me Qui-Gon.
That'd be cool.
Because that's something you could do. Give it 4 or 5 seasons. Lead it straight into episode 1.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I could see that working. I don't know. I think they're going to stay away from the Jedi. I think they're going to stay away from the Jedi.
Give me a Jar Jar series.
It's going to be all about the Gungans.
We're going to have a good time.
You're going to find out why Jar Jar is banished.
We're going to find out how he dealt.
You wanted pre-episode 1. There you go, buddy.
Still canon. I'm still on board with it.
We're going to find out why the Gungans and the Nabooians or whatever.
Nabooians.
Why they hate each other. We get all that info.
We're going to find Darth Jar Jar. He's just going to be loathing in the corner.
Nope.
We still going to have a good time.
Nope.
Nah?
No.
I mean, even then, like, you could kind of play in Plagueis and Sidious into that.
No.
You could.
I mean, you could. I
don't think they would do that, though.
I think they're going to stay away from Jedi, so Jedi aren't going to be a main part of the series. I think we will see them occasionally.
Yeah, I was going to say, they make an appearance at Star Wars.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they set it, like...
back.
Like, after Return of the Jedi or something, that Mark Hamill would show up or something like that at some point. I would not be surprised if that happened.
Give me a Bounty Hunter series.
I mean,
not necessarily Boba.
No, yeah.
But just give me give me IG-88. Fuck it.
Tell you what, Cad Bane from Clone Wars would be badass.
Just give me a series on him.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot that I would love to see from that, but
give me a Bosk season.
Yeah, no thanks.
That would be cool. Just 1 season for each bounty hunter.
I mean, that would be cool. I think we talked about it one time. Like, do a TV show where it's almost like, you know, like Black Mirror or something like that, where it's episodic. Like each episode is something completely different, and while the universe is connected, but it's just different characters, different stories every single episode. That's what I would love to see.
I can get behind that.
See, now you're screwing with my headphones.
My headphones aren't working.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but not through them.
I don't know, we'll figure it out later.
Anyway.
That better?
I don't know. I just gave up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, give me a Jar Jar series. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Bilbo Swaggins.
Not really. I'm not all for Jar Jar. Speaking of Star Wars TV, I did throw up a short, 20-minute podcast just talking about Star Wars Rebels.
I'm disappointed on how it didn't end. Going into the Rogue One.
All right, so spoilers. If you haven't seen it, there are going to be spoilers here. So you did watch the last episode?
I didn't watch it, but I've read a couple synopses on it.
All right. I was not. If you've listened to this show or listened to Star Wars Talk, you know that we wanted Rebels to end
right into Rogue One.
Right in Rogue One. So yeah, I'm a little upset it didn't end like that. But the way it ended,
the ending was still satisfying. So
satisfying, and I cried, I cheered, Yeah, it was really good.
Bob was an emotional train wreck at the end of it.
I really was, and I tell you what, the ending, that ending where, because it jumps, literally.
Wait.
So everything happens on Lothal, where Ezra, they're able to rescue and save Lothal. They get rid of the Empire from there, and Ezra and Thrawn get taken into hyperspace from the space whales, and shit's just crazy, all right?
Yeah, the space whales, a.k.a. your mom.
And it then jumps. It jumps a number of years to after the Battle of Endor. And
whoa, that's fucking a huge jump.
I know. And Sabine is sitting there talking about how, they expected the Empire to come back for Lothal, but they never came back. So they truly liberated Lothal. It's free, from the Empire's grasp. But Sabine stayed on Lothal, and she talks about how Hera goes off and fights in the Battle of Endor, and a lot of these characters that we've come to grow with and love, they were all in these battles, just off to the side. We're on the movies, we see Luke and everybody, but they're off to the side somewhere.
Yeah, they're still there fucking shit up.
Exactly, which I think is amazing. And then they show that Hera actually has a child called Jacen Syndulla. Now, if you are anybody who's anybody with Star Wars, the name Jacen, Jacen, is an important name in Star Wars lore, because before there was the Disney, the Disney takeover,
Jacen Solo.
There was a Jacen Solo that is now Legends, and this was kind of their way of honoring that Legends character, So Jacen Syndulla, who is the son of Kanan and Hera, which kind of blew my mind, because I was sitting there thinking we never saw them have sex, and they didn't say they loved each other at all until the last moment. That's not a good thing to teach kids. Look,
they did sex at each other, but in a respectable way.
But that's the thing. I get okay, cool. She has a kid, but
she touched his pangus.
That's the thing. That's my only thing, is they should have at some point earlier, just for kids' sake. I'm not sitting here saying that kids aren't smart and know that people have sex before marriage and stuff like that. Yeah. I'm just saying it's a little easier. If I'm sitting there with my kids and they're like, "Oh, she has a kid. Where do you come from?" Well,
you got to put your pangus into a vagina.
So that's just kind of interesting. But so that happened. But the moment that just stood out to everybody is Sabine is sitting there talking. She's looking at some art, and she keeps talking about how, because there was a moment where Ezra's like, "I can count on you, right, Sabine?" And she just didn't really understand what that meant. She thought that he could count on her in protecting Lothal.
Yeah.
But what it really meant is, and to her, she believes he can count on me to go find him, because he's still alive. He's not dead. And she has that belief, that understanding that he is alive. Mm-hmm. So
he becomes Luke Skywalker. No, I'm kidding.
So she wants to go find Ezra, and she's sitting there talking, because it's a voiceover, and behind her there's a figure that comes in a cloak, and the picture changes to who it is, and it's fucking Ahsoka.
That's
and
badass.
You're just like, she lives!
You're like, oh!
It was so exciting. It's one of those things, and it's and then that's where it ends. Sabine and Ahsoka. Is the next show going to be about those two going to find Ezra?
That would be, I think it is.
I'm all for it.
Or are we going to get, the lost chapter?
No, they're
get
not.
Get it last.
The lost chapters happen with Clone Wars because of how it got canceled so quickly and everything like that. But this, I think, is a little bit different. I think that they have a plan for this,
and they're not going to do it till Disney does their streaming service.
Probably not, which sucks, because that's a year and a half away probably, and that just sucks big time.
That gives you a reason to rewatch Rebels, though.
Yeah.
That gives
it
you
really
an
does.
excuse.
True.
They'll announce and be like, oh, fuck, I guess I got to rewatch this.
Oh, man.
Fuck, twisting my arm, Disney. I guess. I mean, I can call off work, I guess.
But it was an excellent way to end the show. Again, I would have liked to have seen them hit the Rogue One side of things, but
I mean, they kind of do. It doesn't hit the battle, but they reference it.
yeah,
That's good enough for me.
Yeah. So that's that. You can hear a bunch more. I talked about it a good bit.
It's exciting that Ahsoka survived Darth Vader. Kind of.
Not only that, but she's alive after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
So
was she aged at all, or was she kind of young?
She's aged. Does she meet up with Luke Skywalker? Like, I want to see that. Come on.
Deleted scene in Episode 8. Ahsoka's chilling with Luke.
But that's the thing. Like, you figure that they've all heard of Luke Skywalker. Skywalker. Like his
Skywalker.
His legend. Like he is a legend.
Yeah,
and
she would have had to have looked for him at least.
Exactly. She would have had to have
whether
searched
she
for him.
found him or not. She had to have looked for him.
And knowing the name.
Yeah.
Like, she would be able to put together. Like, that's what I want to see. I want to see a meeting where Ahsoka and Luke, and he goes, Luke Skywalker, she's like, Skywalker, my old master was your father.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. Like, that moment would be so cool.
And then for Luke to learn that his dad wasn't always a terrible person.
Yeah, oh, yeah, true. I mean, that's another thing. Imagine how...
Like, his reaction to his father not always being a tyrant.
Just imagine that, dude. Like, that, just the history that he would learn about his father and
his family name.
Oh, my God, man.
Like the stories that Obi-Wan wouldn't even tell him.
Oh, jeez. Look at this. There's so much I could do.
Clone Wars. God. The Last Chapters Part 2.
I can't wait for that. I hope they do something like that, because I think they have to. They have to put the two of them on a scene together in a cartoon or live action show. Not in a book and not in a comic. I want to see it on a television or on a theater.
And not in the fucking Forces of Destiny, please.
Yes. Yeah.
Please.
All right. So some other cool things have come out, but a lot of stuff has been coming out for The Last Jedi because
all this fucking deleted scenes.
Because it's coming out soon, and the book just came out. So the first thing I want to talk about is the one deleted scene that we saw.
I posted another one in the group. Did you watch it?
Which one was it?
It was Finn before he tried to jump ship. Him and BB-8 have a conversation right before he's sitting there in the bridge, and he's contemplating running.
Oh, okay.
And him BB-8 just being BB-8. And it adds a little bit depth to him, just like, oh, I just woke up, I gotta run.
Oh, yeah.
It's him contemplating do I really want to still be in this battle?
Yeah. Well. But no, this one here is a deleted scene with Finn and Phasma, and I think it's the scene. It's the scene that we all wanted between the two of them.
So fucking
because
good.
you have that moment where it's like, first off, he
this is after her mask is broken.
Yeah, her mask is broken, and her and the stormtroopers climb up, and they have Finn surrounded, and she's like, I'm gonna finish you or something like that, and he's like. You think that these people would stand here alongside you and fight for you if they learned that you're the one who helped deactivate the shield and destroy Starkiller Base? And she's like, they would have to believe you first, and then they do.
Yeah,
because you see them just like, what?
Well, that's because she can't hide. Like, you could see her eye.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. But then, it's just a badass scene where he then blasts her away and stuff like that. It's what I think it's the scene that we all deserve to get and we didn't get.
Yeah.
And the thing is it would add maybe a minute to the movie.
Yeah, like to a 2.5 hour long movie to begin with.
Exactly. I'm sorry. Like, I think when companies start cutting movies and stuff like that, like I can understand, like, okay, we don't want a 3 hour movie because if it's 3 hours and you can't have so many showings in a theater each day, you can only have fewer showings. But
I'll take a 3 hour film.
I would too. But I mean, if you're gonna hit 2:30, why not 2:35 or 2:30 or 2:40, just to add a couple extra scenes like that? To me,
or even just have special screenings for the full fucking movie.
Yeah, I tell you what, if they were like
Star Wars has 3 fucking showings anyway, like 3 theaters in a thing anyway,
or more.
Yeah, one theater won't hurt you.
Yeah. So that's that deleted scene, which was pretty cool. But the coolest stuff that I think came out, I'm going to kind of run through these quickly because there's a lot. But the novelization came out for The Last Jedi.
After we were talking about this at work, I'm probably going to pick that up. Probably next page.
There are multiple things that were added in the novelization that enhance the story tremendously. I'm just going to jump through them here and we'll talk about certain ones. Luke Skywalker has a dream about another life had he not left Tatooine. So there's a moment where he's actually dreaming, and he dreams about a time of having a wife and a family and things on Tatooine, not going with Obi-Wan and everything like
and
that.
his life becoming all sorts of fuckery.
Well, I mean, like that to me is crazy. Like to think
That's a surreal thought there.
Yeah. You also learn why Luke's costume, there's a costume change, why he goes and changes his costume right when Rey shows up. The reason for it, and these are little spoilers, so there may be some spoilers here, people, but we've all seen the movie.
If you wanted to see the movie, you've seen it. If you're going to complain about spoilers, please go see it.
The robes we see him at the end of The Force Awakens, the beginning of The Last Jedi, are actually ceremonial robes, and he was wearing them to burn the library on Ahch-To. And that's why he was wearing them. So that's why we see him wearing them, and then he's wearing them later with Yoda. Remember, he puts them back on whenever he's with Yoda. So, again, it's one of those things like...
That's something they pulled from Legends. It's
the
in
ceremonial robes?
It's the Force Unleashed.
Yeah, well, there you have it.
It's the end of the game.
So, I just think, it's a cool little bit there, because I always wondered, I was curious, like, why did he go change his clothes so quickly?
Like, fuck, she ruined my bonfire.
Yeah, like, well, I don't
God damn it.
So, that was interesting. Luke was actually going to go with Rey to help the Resistance until he walked in on Kylo and Rey communicating. So that scene, in the middle of the movie when Rey and Kylo are actually sitting, like she's in the hut,
and they're having their moment,
and they're having like a real moment where they touch. Even that moment when Luke comes in, like he was actually going to tell Rey, like, "Hey, let's go."
Hey, yeah, I'll pull the X-wing out. I got pulled around.
Yeah, so like that's what was going to happen until he saw that moment, and then there was a little fight between the two of them, and so on and so forth. So
I think that scene would have been. I would have wanted to see the alternate ending of that.
Of what?
Of Luke, like, actually being on Crate. But it would have been more of, like, a morale boost. Like, oh, my God, we got Luke Skywalker.
Well, I mean, it was a morale boost to begin with. Everybody thought he was real. So they...
Everybody that wasn't there. That wasn't in the theater.
Luke, I said that one. A memorial service for Han Solo with Leia saying some kind words was in the beginning of the movie, or the book.
I don't know if I would have liked to see that.
There was some revelations of what was wrong with Leia and why she was in a coma, and it kind of could play a role on how or why she dies.
I mean, it's canon.
So, interesting. Emotional moment for Leia near the end. Her and Chewie are in the cockpit of the Falcon. She talks to Chewie about how Luke sacrificed himself for the Resistance. She is then overtaken by her grief that she's been holding in after losing Han and her brother and
and just like
the Resistance and everything she's lost.
Like her life's in shambles.
She completely loses it and embraces Chewie weeping. And like that, I would have loved to have seen that scene.
That would have been
like
a
if that
touching
was
scene.
actually in the movie. I don't know if they filmed it. I mean, it was in the book, but who knows if they actually filmed it.
Again, that's another scene that would have been like what, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Like
we get some Snoke backstory. This one's kind of interesting. Like
everybody here at the fuck is. I'll calm down. I'll shut up.
Snoke is the one who saved all of those who went to the unknown regions after the collapse of the Empire. So he's the one that kind of like, because if you've read the books, if you played the video game, stuff like that, you know that Palpatine had a plan that if the Empire fell, to reinstate and bring the Empire back. If anything ever happened.
He had the contingency plan.
And he had a whole slew of forces in the unknown regions. Well, after the collapse of the Empire, most of the Imperials, they all went to the unknown regions, but they couldn't organize enough to get back. So Snoke was the one who did that. His ultimate goal is to reclaim what the Empire lost and rebuild. It also mentions how he exploited Ben Solo, and that manipulation is what caused Luke to create a new Jedi Order. Luke was content just collecting Jedi artifacts, but the potential power and danger of Ben Solo is what led Luke to creating a temple to teach others the ways of the Force. So Snoke played a role in what happened with Luke and why he did what he did. If you played Battlefront 2, you know that he was out collecting
he was
artifacts.
Just doing his own thing.
But it was the fear of Ben Solo being too powerful and not controlling it how he should is what led to him creating a new Jedi Order, in a sense. The Knights of Ren. Only a little about how Snoke is unimpressed with the whole Ren thing. So Snoke, when he looks at Kylo, he doesn't care about the Knights of Ren.
He just wants Kylo. He wants Kilo.
They do not appear to be part of the First Order if they are even Force users.
I was kind of disappointed we didn't see any of them in Episode 8. Like, not even a mention.
It'll be interesting if they come up in Episode 9 and they are kind of like the Praetorian Guards for the new Supreme Leader, Kylo Ren.
No, I can get behind that.
There was some General Hux stuff. Hux sees himself as a prospect for Supreme Leader and does not believe Snoke or Kylo are fit for the role.
Oh, shit.
Kylo doesn't trust Hux, as it is known Hux will take out anyone in his way to get what he wants, as Hux once took out his father.
Oh, shit.
So, that's interesting. Kylo's past, so we get some more on Kylo and Ben Solo. Kylo recalls a conversation that he overheard with his parents speaking of him as a monster and not their child. And that was the reason he was sent with Luke. Kylo would have stopped the torpedo from blowing up the Radis Bridge if he knew it was going to be fired. So you get a little backstory on why he was sent to Luke. Leia and Han were afraid of him. They didn't know how to control him and control his strength, his raw power. So they sent him with Luke. And then Luke, the same thing happens. Luke doesn't know how to control his raw power. He goes to kill him, and that's really what pushed him to being a Knight of Ren and to Snoke and everything like that. So you can see, like, his story is a lot deeper and rooted than even Anakin's ever was.
Yeah. Anakin was just a Force baby.
But, like, Kylo actually has a reason for why he is how he is, which I really enjoy. But then, they talk about how, that moment when he has the opportunity to blow up the Radis and his mother, and he doesn't. He takes his hand off the trigger, or his finger off the trigger, but then those other TIE fighters come, shoot torpedoes at it. If he would have known that was going to happen, if he had clarity at that moment and could sense it coming, he would have stopped the torpedoes from being shot, and at that moment he thought his mother was killed. So
it's weird that he's that attached to his mom, but not Han.
Well, you got to remember, Han went away.
Yeah, but still, like.
Rey considers murdering Kylo Ren. While waiting for Chewie after the throne room battle, she thinks over her decision to not murder Kylo before leaving. She didn't because she believes the future is a range of possibilities, and she didn't want to repeat the mistakes Luke made. She wants to allow the will of the Force to play out. So
that's all. I shoulder shrugged there. I'm sorry.
No,
it's just. Meh. That I don't feel like would have needed to be in the movie.
I like the idea of seeing her playing, like, with those decisions of going dark or staying light and stuff like that.
She's playing Mass Effect right now, Paragon or Renegade.
I don't know. That's a handful of some of the things that were in the novelization.
A couple of them could have been added to the movie.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul. Like, instead of opening up to running from the First Order, have a nice touching memorial to Han Solo.
Could have, yeah.
Just.
So in other movies, Denis Villeneuve, I can't remember. Villeneuve, I think is how it is. He's the one who's going to be directing and adapting a new Dune film. However, he says it will be at least 2 films.
Oh, nice.
So I don't know if you've ever watched Dune or read the book or anything like that. I know Alex was a big fan of Dune. I never could get into it. It was too sci-fi-ish for me. Like there's sci-fi and there's like sci-fi.
Then there's sci-fi and then there's Star Trek.
Yeah. So to me, it was always too sci-fi-ish. It's interesting though. It's not. I mean, I can understand people's enjoyment of the story and everything, but it wasn't for me. So much like Blade Runner, like the first Blade Runner is very sci-fi.
Well, which one? Which cut?
Blade Runner.
Just all
Blade
of them.
Runner, because I fall asleep during it all the time. So Robert Downey Jr. is all for doing a third Sherlock Holmes film. I can
get behind that.
I'm all for it happening.
I never saw the second one. I liked the first one.
Second one was decent. First one was amazing.
I really liked the first one. I can get behind it.
Speaking of Sherlock, Benedict Cumberbatch. I
don't know why that was so funny.
He plays Sherlock.
I know, but his last name's funny.
Cumberbatch.
It's like a batch of cucumbers.
He is the voice. He is the voice of the Grinch in the upcoming Grinch animated film.
Do we really need another Grinch movie?
But it's animated, so it's not like it's Jim Carrey, live.
But there's like an old animated one. Do we really need another one?
Why not update it?
Because it's Christmas. It's fucking March.
I mean, it's not coming out today.
When's it come out?
I don't know. I don't have the release date
Probably
here.
fucking June, in the middle of summer. Because it's halfway to Christmas. Bitch, enjoy the summer, because you're the people that complain about it being cold.
I mean, I could look real quick and see what is coming out.
I hate that. Absolutely fucking hate that. Enjoy the summer, because shit gets really cold in the winter. And you can't go outside and have a barbecue.
November 9th. Christ.
Go outside and enjoy the fucking fall. I hate people that put up those counters in like June, like, oh, only 180 days till Christmas. Hey, bitch, shut the fuck up. Stop.
Kind of hit a nerve. We're going to move to the next story then.
Or like right after Christmas, the people that 365 more days till Christmas. I gotta shut up and appreciate what you got this year. People should donate that shit.
So the Terminator semi-reboot has cast Mackenzie Davis from *Halt and Catch Fire* to be the face of the franchise.
So the Sarah Connor?
No, that's the thing that's weird, because this semi-reboot, is taking any movie that came out after Terminator 2 and erasing it.
Oh,
so
shit.
Terminator 1 and Terminator 2
are the only canon.
So
everything else that was pretty much ass is gone.
Yeah, Sarah Connor's gonna be in it. You know, who they have playing John Connor, I don't know. They haven't done that yet. Maybe they're gonna switch him or something. Who knows?
How about Arnold Schwarzenegger coming back? Is he going to reprise his role?
He is going to be in it, but I think they got actually somebody else to actually play
the
Terminator.
Or is he going to be like the older version and he's going to die halfway through the film?
I don't know. Like, I don't know much about it, but Tim Miller is making this, and Tim Miller is the guy that did the first Deadpool, and we know how well that was done. So
yeah. So I mean, I have faith in it.
Yeah, I do. I have faith. I'm looking forward to it.
You know, we should release the second part of that movie boot. We did the first part of Terminator and never did the second part.
We never did do a second part.
Actually, I think we made it like the first 25 minutes into the movie, to a rebooted Terminator.
But it was like a 4-hour-long movie.
Yeah.
It was actually really cool. I liked that idea. Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald.
Never saw the first one.
The trailer is coming Tuesday, which is tomorrow for us.
Yay!
Kind of excited. I really, really liked the first one.
I didn't see the first one, but keep in mind I wasn't a fan of the Harry Potter films.
Yeah, well...
So I read the books.
You suck at life.
I read the books.
It doesn't matter. You suck at life.
I mean...
I never read the books.
I mean, we all know I suck at life. But, like, I couldn't get into the movies.
I really enjoyed the movies.
I
went to the theaters to see most of them. And
well, that's the thing. I was, like, hardly 5 when they started to come out.
Yeah.
But, like, the first, like, if you don't get me with the first movie, I'm like, no.
Well, that was perfect age for you.
I'm like, I'm tapped out. I can't.
Oh, no, it wasn't the perfect age for you. It came out, 2001? 2002?
I was literally 5 or 6.
Yeah, it was a little over your head at that time.
I was like, I can't get into it. And then I tried the second one. I was like, yep, I still can't get into it.
The first and second one are hard to watch now. Like, they're really hard to watch because they're so kiddie.
Yeah.
But I can still get
I mean, if I have a feeling if I'd watch, like, the Deathly Hallows Part 2, I'd be like, oh, fuck. And go back and be like, yeah, I still can't watch 1 and 2. Started at 4.
Comic book movies.
Yay!
The Spawn reboot looking to start production this spring. Kind of excited about it.
Yeah, I can get behind it.
I mean, that's a movie, like, I know I complain about reboots from time to time, but I think it's one that should be remade. Why not?
When was the first one out?
95.
Oh, it's been fucking long enough. It's been 23 years. Give it a reboot.
Yeah, why not?
Fuck it, YOLO. Give Dude, Where's My Car a reboot, please.
So, Deadpool 2. So, some interesting stuff has come out over the last 2 days with Deadpool 2.
I have been keeping up with your posts.
So, it appears that there was an early screening of Deadpool 2. Now, what what studios will do is they'll have screenings of movies to get audience response. A lot of times, this isn't a completed movie. Sometimes all the CG and effects aren't completed.
Yeah, you're watching a very rough copy
and
of it.
It's not completely edited, like cut and everything like that. So, reports came out that there's a few audiences that saw the movie, and it was
horrendous.
Received horribly, just terribly. Like, it was so bad that Fox was like, we gotta go do major reshoots. Like, it was
Fox
crazy.
was like, good thing this is Marvel's problem.
What is it? Because it's their problem.
Disney. Good thing this is going to be Disney's problem.
It's not, because it comes out in like a month and a half.
Yeah, but like if they destroy the franchise, they're not going to have to deal with it.
True. Anyway, so that news came out, and you know, I'm sitting there like, okay, I could understand, because you got to remember, like, that first movie
was really fucking good.
Not just because of Ryan Reynolds, the way he played Deadpool, but it was everything. Director Tim Miller, the writers, Ryan Reynolds, you know,
everybody,
Marina Baccarana, all those, like, the cast, everything. That's
just
what made
good.
the movie so good. And I was worried. If you remember when Tim Miller left, and we talked about this last year, Tim Miller left and they were trying to find a director and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know how good it's going to be without Tim Miller. Like,
and here we are with a steaming plate filled with dog shit.
But do we really have that? Because now reports are coming out that all those claims were false. That the movie, because when they have an audience go see a movie, they then ask the audience to score the film. And they're saying that it's scoring in the 90s. You know,
That's not bad.
The low to mid 90s.
Maybe the reviews were like, oh my god, it's not cut together. This is awful.
Well, people are saying that there's something that happens in the movie that is very bold, but isn't being received very well. And it's being compared to the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. And that's the big problem, I think. Now, they're not saying that it's a reveal of who somebody is, but they're comparing it to that because that was something that upset people so much, and it just didn't work. It didn't work for Iron Man. They're saying that this could work or could not work. Some audience members liked it, some didn't. So that's kind of their big gamble right there. Also hearing that Vanessa, Marina Baccarana, or however you say her name, she doesn't have that big of a role in the movie, which is kind of upsetting because she's damn hot. And
Yeah.
But
you'd like to get behind that.
That's why I watch Gotham every week.
Nice.
But
just adding fuel to the spank bank. That's all you're doing.
Exactly.
Got to make a deposit every week.
So, take that as you will. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna see the movie. I'm gonna see it opening weekend. The first one was so great that I'm going to see it.
Got to at least give it a try.
But I mean, I'm not surprised if it does poorly. I'm not going to be surprised because they didn't have the same team of people together as they did for the first one. So that's all I'm really trying to say. That's all.
Long-winded version of that.
Scott Eastwood as Wolverine. Scott Eastwood, who was in Suicide Squad. He was in something else also.
Suicide Squad?
Something else recently. Oh, he's in Pacific Rim Uprising.
He's in Rim Job Uprising?
But he... Rim Job.
There was one that didn't go under the radar. I really just fucked your brain right now.
I wouldn't mind seeing Scott Eastwood take on the role of Wolverine. I know that he's showing some interest in wanting to do it. I don't think we're going to see a recast of Wolverine until this Disney thing
until that's all cleared up.
But he will be the first one cast and probably the first one introduced into the MCU whenever it comes, because he's their biggest character. Wolverine, when you think of X-Men, you think Wolverine, like immediately. So I think that's what's going to happen. Could it be Scott Eastwood? Maybe. I mean, I could see him. I always thought that Tom Hardy would be the best man to take on the role after Hugh Jackman. I think Tom Hardy would, definitely own it. But he's Venom, so who knows?
I mean, why not? Fuck it, YOLO.
All right, DC news. We got a whole slew of Shazam set photos.
Yeah, right? Like a lot more than I thought we would ever get.
Yeah. I tell you what, I love the suit. I know a lot of people are like, it looks so bad. Well, first off, we don't have any context to it. Could that be his first suit? Could it not be? But somebody got a really close picture of it, and they're like showing the little detail in the suits. Holy crap, dude. Like the detail is amazing. I can't fucking wait for this movie. I just can't.
When's it coming out?
Next March.
Oh, you literally have a year.
I know. It sucks. But I can't wait for it. So we got that. Greg Berlanti. Greg Berlanti's known for the Arrowverse. He's like the super producer who's done Arrow, Flash.
You're like the super producer of bridging the remote control
to bridging the geekdoms.
No, I mean we're not. We're still in the transition. We're bridging the remote control right now.
Oh yeah. I'm the producer of that. Okay. Anyways, Greg Berlanti states or says that a Booster Gold movie is still in the works. I'm trying to. Booster Gold. Booster Gold is another DC character. Mm-hmm. He's from the future, essentially, and he
boosted there and got some gold.
If I'm not mistaken, he was like a football star, and
he sounds like a football star name.
Yeah, but he's an interesting character. He was the last time I think we saw him live action was on Smallville, and it was pretty bad. So, but a lot of things were on Smallville.
Smallville was kind of bad.
No, dude, fuck you. Smallville was awesome. Love Smallville. But anyway,
the story was good. Pretty much everything else was bad.
Anyway. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on there. I'm all for a Booster Gold film. Here's the thing. I don't think, yes, there's probably talk that I think what they're going to do right now is they're going to be like, yeah, Nightwing, yeah, give us a script. Batgirl, yeah, give us a script. Booster Gold, yeah, give us a script. And they're like, keep giving us this shit. But you know what? That's not our main focus. Our main focus is going to be on these guys. And I think that's what they're going to do, because I think we're going to get this month at WonderCon. I think we're going to get some big information. We're going to get an Aquaman trailer. I think we're going to get some information on what's coming out also, what is in the pipeline. You know, are we going to have the Batman movie? When is that going to happen? When's that going to start filming?
Are we going to get it?
So, yeah, we're going to get Batman. I mean, Matt Reeves has signed on to direct and write. He's been writing since July. So, guessing he's probably got something in.
Comes in, just to post a note of an IOU, leaves.
I'll get to it eventually.
I couldn't fucking think of anything.
Well, I'm not going to say he's been writing it since July, but his mind
has been set on it.
Once War of the Planet of the Apes came out, his mind switched to Batman, and that's where he's been since July. So, Suicide Squad 2 could begin to film later this year in the UK, so possibly this fall.
Ooh. I really don't want to see a second one. I thought the first one was fine. We don't need a second one.
Wonder Woman 2 officially has cast Kristen Wiig as Cheetah.
Nice.
The movie could start shooting this May in the UK. Rupert Gregson-Williams to score Aquaman. He's the guy who scored Wonder Woman, which I thought did a fantastic job. And now, the big rumor, big rumor for DC, is that Chris McQuarrie is being targeted or is already in line to direct the Green Lantern Corps movie. Now, some feel because of this, he may attempt to try and pull Tom Cruise in to playing the hero Hal Jordan, an experienced Lantern who is training a young Jon Stewart.
Your fucking thing's just going off.
It's yours, not mine.
It's bullshit. It can't be mine. I don't think I even have Facebook open anymore. I can't find the mouse. I'm sorry.
Turn off the TV. Oh, you can't turn off the TV.
Yeah, I can't.
Close Firefox. That's what'll do it.
Okay. Hey guys, technical difficulties. Am I right?
Anyways,
so why did the penis cross the road?
What do you think of Tom Cruise playing the Green Lantern?
I don't like Tom Cruise.
I'm totally down for it.
I think
it would be perfect as an aging Hal Jordan. I mean, come on. Hal Jordan was a test fighter pilot who was like not crazy, but like
he's like
over ambitious.
He was crazy,
full of himself.
He found the mummy and then died at the end.
Tom Cruise has played that character before in Top Gun. Like it would be perfect.
That's very true.
That's what I'm trying to say. So again, I could see it working out really well.
It's crazy. He went and found the mummy in the summer and died at the end of it, kind of.
Not really.
Is he? I
don't know.
We'll probably never find out.
We're never going to find out because I think they canceled that whole universe now.
Fuck. It just comes out with a statement: Tom Cruise didn't die. Fuck.
I don't know. I'm down. Let me know what you think of Tom Cruise's Green Lantern. I think it's a good idea because he's not. It would be kind of like a one-off. Like he would be in one movie, and I think passing the torch to somebody who like Jon Stewart, which is one of the Green Lanterns, I think it would be perfect. I think I'd be down for it. That's all for DC. Going to Marvel. Black Panther is getting a sequel, and tentative plans are already in place for the story. Kevin Feige. That's it. Yeah, what do you think of that?
I like it.
Look, Black Panther, I enjoyed. Does it need a sequel?
Oh my god. I mean, is there another villain you can pull for that? I mean, I'm sure there's another villain you could pull, but is there another one worth mentioning, though?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know much about Black Panther.
Neither do I.
I mean...
if they should have kept, fuck, I can't think of his name. The villain in the first one.
Killmonger?
There you go. I'm really bad with names. We've been doing this for a fucking year. You should know this. They should have kept him alive.
I always think it's funny whenever you start talking to the people, you look at the TV.
I'm looking at you, recording equipment.
You look at the TV when you're talking to the people.
I'm looking at you through the wavelengths. They should have kept him alive. There was no reason to kill him at the end of Black
Spoilers! Panther. Come on.
Okay, it's...
Because it hasn't made over $1 billion and everybody has seen it.
Okay, if you've been living under a rock or a potato in dirt...
no, I agree.
He should not have died at the end of it.
Even though it gave us one of the best looking scenes in all of Marvel cinematic history.
Yeah, he should not have died.
He should have died, yeah.
He should have somehow pulled some, plot armor and survived or some shit.
Yeah,
I don't know. But like now it's like, what are we gonna do for a sequel?
Yeah, I mean they'll figure something out. Kevin Feige has said that Captain Marvel will play the movie Captain Marvel will play homage to 90s action movies and is primarily set in outer space.
Nice. So we'll get something like The Matrix.
Maybe.
Can we get the cool like Neo dodging bullets?
You gotta remember that first off, that's not.
Matrix happened in the 90s, didn't it? Then the first one?
99, but that was paying homage to like kung fu films.
Whatever. Whatever. Just slow down time and dodge bullets.
And it didn't take place in space.
Kind of.
No, not kind of. Not at all.
Kind of.
No, no space at all.
Cyberspace, damn it.
Oh, God.
I'm not wrong. There was all sorts of fuckery happening in that movie. There were ghosts with dreadlocks.
Oh, man.
Hey, I'm gonna stop us real quick. Hey, if you want to listen to a really cool podcast, check out our Matrix movie boot 2-parter. That was really fucking good.
That was a lot of fun. Kevin Feige also talks about Thanos' motives for Infinity War. Basically, he had this to say. He's from a planet called Titan that's no longer inhabited because of things that he thought he could help prevent. And he was not allowed to do that. What he feared most happened, and the planet and everybody on it basically went extinct. He vowed not to let that happen again. He thinks he sees the universe going down the tubes. He thinks he sees life expanding outward unchecked. That will bring ruin, he believes. And he believes that will bring ruin to the universe and to that life. So, like, his motives, as it seems, which I'm guessing because they had to tell us here, they're probably not going to explain in the movie because they never do in Marvel movies. His motives seem to be good, well-intentioned motives because he's trying to stop the outward movement of,
the space-time continuum.
No, outward movement of people going into space. He thinks that people just going out in space and inhabiting other planets and stuff like that is a bad idea. He's trying to stop that because he feels that the same thing will happen to space as what had happened to his planet of Titan.
I mean, Thanos, the guy who can save half the universe by killing the other half of the universe.
Exactly.
There's your plot summary for his character.
So, I'm not going to play the music. Journey to Infinity War.
We got to do that. Fuck.
Journey to Infinity War.
Man.
Ant-Man.
I fucking hate Ant-Man. Literally fucking hate Ant-Man. So much.
Why?
Because it doesn't even make sense.
He's a man who's as small as an ant.
Yeah, but like it's still mass. Like he couldn't sit on top of an ant. He'd crush the motherfucker.
Technically, you're right. He would still be as heavy.
Yeah, he would still be 220 pounds, just for example. He would kill the ant.
Yeah. Well, the science is comic book science, so you gotta go with it.
Advanced fuckery is what that is. Like, that movie's so implausible, it's unreal.
So in 1989, scientist Hank Pym resigns from S.H.I.E.L.D. after discovering their attempt to replicate his Ant-Man shrinking technology. Believing the technology is dangerous, Hank Pym vows to hide it as long as he lives. You jump to present day. Hank Pym's estranged daughter, Hope Van Dyne, and former protege Darren Cross have forced him out of his company, Pym Technologies. Cross is close to perfecting a shrinking suit of his own, the Yellow Jacket, which horrifies Pym. Upon his release from prison, well-meaning thief Scott Lang moves in with his old cellmate, Lewis.
Yeah, boy.
Scott Lang visits his daughter, Cassie, unannounced, and is chastised by his former wife, Maggie, and her police detective fiancé, Paxton, for not providing child support. Nice. Unable to hold a job because of his criminal record, Lang agrees to join Lewis's crew and commit a burglary. Lang breaks into a house and cracks its safe, but only finds what he believes to be an old motorcycle suit, which he takes home. After trying the suit on, Lang accidentally shrinks himself to the size of an insect. Terrified by the experience, he returns the suit to the house, but is arrested on the way out. Pym, the homeowner, visits Lang in jail and smuggles the suit into his cell to help him break out. Hank Pym, who manipulated Lang through an unknowing Lewis into stealing the suit as a test, wants Lang to become a new Ant-Man to steal the Yellow Jacket from Cross. Having been spying on Cross after discovering his intentions, Van Dyne and Pym train Lang to fight and control ants. Like this is literally a movie. Like,
yeah, I was just gonna say, you hear the fucking synopsis. This is why this movie's fucking awful. Why are they making a second one? Because Marvel.
While Van Dyne harbors resentment towards Pym about her mother Janet's death, he reveals that Janet, known as the Wasp, disappeared into a subatomic quantum realm while disabling a Soviet nuclear missile. Pym warns Lang that he could suffer a similar fate if he overrides the suit's regulator. They send him to steal the device that will aid their heist from the Avengers headquarters, where he briefly fights Sam Wilson, the Falcon. Now, I mean, then it goes on. He goes and steals the suit, tries to steal the Yellow Jacket, but the Yellow Jacket is perfected, and then Yellow Jacket and Ant-Man have a big fight in his daughter's bedroom. And
for all of you guys that are still here, I'm sorry.
Again, it's
awful.
not my favorite movie.
Awful. It's fucking atrocious. I hate it.
Yeah, it's not great.
I vocally hate it, man. I don't know why they're getting a second one. Will I see the second one? No. Because I don't want to. It's awful.
I'll see the second one.
The fact that he's still not in Infinity War is beautiful.
Who?
Ant-Man.
Yeah, he is.
We've seen nothing about him.
He's in Infinity.
I mean, he's going to be in there. But the fact that we haven't seen anything is what makes me so excited for this movie.
Trust me, he's in Infinity.
He's going to be in there. He's going to get flicked, and then that's going to be it. It'd be like, fucking A, man. Thanos killing Ant-Man. Thank you.
But that's Ant-Man. I mean, yeah. I'm not going to go from there. All right, so the big thing that you wanted to talk about this week is you were like, let's talk about
Oh, fuck. I got to pull that up.
You're like, let's talk about our favorite, or our saddest cartoon finales. And you're like, why don't we do 3? And I'm like, sure. Well, I couldn't find 3. I could only find 1.
Okay, I found 3.
So we'll just talk about what we'll talk about. We'll discuss it.
We'll talk about some shit and do some things. Hold on. I'll just keep talking while I find Microsoft Word on my phone. So, which one did you find?
Star Wars Rebels.
You know what? I'm not surprised.
I mean, I talked about it earlier, but I mean, it was sad because you see these characters that you grew, 4 years with, you learn to love, you love the universe of Star Wars, you love the development of these characters.
When done flawlessly. Wow.
And they're gone. It's like, it's over, it's done with. And yeah, I cried. I literally did. I don't care. I'm comfortable with myself enough to say, yeah, I cried during a cartoon. It happens. I cried during Coco too. I mean, come on,
Coco was good though.
But the end of Rebels wasn't just sad, but it was happy. It was that bittersweet end.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, it's over.
But you're like, there's so much to look forward to, but
that's fuck, I've invested.
And a lot of cartoons, like I was looking at lists and stuff like that. You got the one on there that's probably the saddest of all time. I used to watch that cartoon when I was a little kid, and I never even remember that ending. But again, it's one of those things that cartoons don't normally have very sad endings. They have dark endings, they have bittersweet endings, but when it's just sad, it's very rare that cartoons, because it's for kids. They don't want to make kids sad.
That's when you know adults are watching the show, when you make it sad.
Yeah. So what do you got?
Number 3, I have David the Gnome.
David the Gnome, that's the one I was talking about.
Yeah,
it's probably the saddest out of all of the ones that I've seen.
They reference in the show that hey, there's a bunch of forests up there, and gnomes only live to be 300 years old.
And they go in, and after a certain point, they become a tree.
Yeah. So at the end of the last episode, him and his wife go up to the forest.
Dude, I used to watch David the Gnome when I was a kid. I loved that show. Oh man, he was an elf, or not an elf, a gnome that rode a fox. I mean, come on, how cool was that?
He was the Tupac of his day. Cruising down the street on my fox. I'm a beat off, damn it.
You do realize it's not Tupac that's singing
whatever.
the song.
I'm not gonna go there. But yeah, the end, the last episode, him and his wife go up there and they die. Yeah, essentially die. Number 2, you have Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Why?
Because in the end, I think it's the ending. I think if it's not the last episode, it's second to the last. You know how cartoons have that. Yeah. We're tying it up thing. The last meaningful episode was
especially anime.
It's not an anime.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah. But anyway, Aang goes to, when he fights the Fire Lord, he beats him and he drains his entire life force, and he vocally wants to die. He's like, I want to die. So that's kind of sad. Because I don't count the last episodes of animes as the last episode, because they're all yeah, we're eating sushi and doing Japanese things. What was your number 1 and only one?
Star Wars Rebels.
Fuck yeah, you said that. I just wanted to say that.
Are you drunk?
No, I'm retarded apparently.
Okay.
What was my number 1? Oh, my number 1 was Teen Titans.
Why?
Yeah, because Tara in season 2 becomes a statue.
Okay.
And Beast Boy and her had like that thing in the show. Mm-hmm. And so Beast Boy goes, like, she comes back at the end of season 4 or 5. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember how many seasons Teen Titan had. But Beast Boy finds her, like, she comes back mysteriously, but she doesn't remember who he is. And the whole episode is him fighting, I think it was Slade. Yeah, it was Slade. Him fighting Slade, and then still coming with the grips of he has to let her go because she's not the same person he remembers. It's kind of a sad thing. And then Ed, and Eddie, because it ended.
Interesting.
I mean, it's all across the board.
Well, there you have it. That's some sad cartoon finales for you. If you have any that...
The sad cartoon endings, number 1, this episode of Bridging the Remote Control.
So if you haven't heard, our big announcement was last week that we are changing our name. We're doing the rebrand. We will be known as...
Bridging the Geekdom.
Bridging the Geekdoms podcast. Starting the first week of April, that is when our official changeover is going to happen.
2nd?
Yeah, 2nd or 3rd or something like that.
Something around there.
But as we're leading up to that over the next few weeks, you'll start seeing in our social media a lot of things will be changing because I don't want to do it all at one time, so I'm kind of doing it, week by week. We change the Facebook page, we're going to change the Twitter, then the Facebook group, and then the website, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah, don't look for the website for too long though. We probably have to take it down.
Yeah, it's going to be down for a while. But, over time that you're going to see things changing. So I apologize for the confusion, but we're doing our best to make sure that it's not confusing. I keep throwing out reminders and stuff like that on
and you don't have to refollow and resubscribe anywhere.
Yeah,
it's literally just a name change.
Yeah, names are changing. Just stay subscribed and following and liking who you like and what you follow and what you subscribe
and
to.
make some more people like.
Yeah. Just want to do a quick shout out to our boy Colby. I know that he said he listens, and
Colby,
give a shout out to him.
For Loco Squad,
airsoft buddy of ours. But so that's it for the.
Hopefully to see you in April.
That's it for the remote control this week. And honestly, before I go, I just want to say this: we got 2 more episodes of the remote control until it's officially no longer
the remote control.
Kind of,
that's it. The last episode, we're playing Crossroads the entire time in the background. Just a 1.5 hour loop of Crossroads.
I got nothing else. You got anything?
I do not.
All right, everyone. Talk to you later.
Bye.